I said, hey everybody. I said, hey everybody. It's the dugcast. Yeah. Hey everybody, it's me, Doug, coming at you from the outer space. I hope y'all's doing good. Just kind of chilling. It's a beautiful day outside. And today, I've got a guest with me. We've got the one and the only,
We good? I'm with us. How you doing, man? Oh, you're good. You're good. I'm watching you. I'm watching like the YouTube page and whatnot. Oh yeah, your beard's gone.
now I do. So you've heard me talking. Nobody else has heard me say anything.
Oh, for real?
So, guys, you haven't heard me. Yeah, Streamlabs can be goofy. It's got all these different settings, and when you go through different scenes, sometimes it just changes them for no reason. So
Oh man.
this is not the most professional show in the whole world.
But we'll have a good time for a bit.
Exactly. So, guys, today with me, I've got Tyler Carpenter. He cranks out comic books. Total indie comics guy, or as I've stolen from Tonic Mole, underground comics guy. This guy does a lot of work. He's always out there. He's a positive influence in the indie comics world, and it's kind of people I like.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I try not to start any drama. I try not to be part of drama. Sometimes it's tempting to be part of drama. I've got a couple I always have I have like a Excel sheet full of video ideas, and I have like a blacklist list of ideas to do in case in case I want to do drama, but I choose not to most of the time.
Yeah, the only time I'm ever in drama is if somebody directly brings it to me. And at that point, I just like to say my piece, and then I'm done.
And bounce. Well, right now, there's just comics are losing the fun out of me for comics, because I go on at least the social media side of it. I always enjoy making comics. I've put out 300 pages of comics in the last year, actually more than that, but it's hard to interact with people because there's just so much anger, and I don't enjoy that. I'm working on a couple new ventures right now, and some of them to do with comics, some of them not. But yeah, sometimes it's just not fun.
Yeah, really. I kind of took a break from Twitter for a week or two. I mean, I wasn't even in the DM groups that I'm in or anything. I was just like, I need a break. You guys are killing me. The one thing that's really helped me, though, is that you can actually mute words and hashtags now. So
I learned how to do that because of you, because you and I was just like, I've gotta start muting people and muting phrases, and it's sad because there's always a new phrase that's coming out each week of people that are angry, and I'm like, I gotta mute this one.
Yeah, actually, everybody talked about Star Wars forever, and that was one that I muted. So, I actually saw the new Star Wars movie just because I didn't see everybody ranting about it constantly.
That's funny. Yeah, I did you like it though?
This is my take on Star Wars at this point. I hated The Last Jedi so bad that I don't care about Star Wars anymore as Star Wars.
Okay.
Star Wars to me, what I liked is good. These new movies, I just take them as science fiction, just random science fiction movies. And watching the new one as a random science fiction movie with laser swords, I thought it was okay.
Yeah, there were moments where I was like, okay, that was really fun, that was enjoyable, but overall, yeah, I didn't like it. I see it a little. I see it whereas the same way I kind of do with certain comic books. I see it as my generation of Star Wars has passed, and it's now on to this new generation who have no taste. So like if that's what they want to enjoy, let them do that. Same thing with Marvel comics. I personally don't like read a lot of Marvel comics, and I know a lot of people on their streams and whatnot will bash Marvel comics. But at the same time, you have like my cousin, my cousin's child, little girl, and she loves Marvel comics because there's Squirrel Girl there and there's Moon Girl, and to her, she's like Marvel comics. This is the best, and it just goes to show, okay, there's clearly a generational gap. She's able to click with it, and I'm really glad that she's able to click with it. It's just not for me, and that's just with all entertainment. Like if you don't like something, just there's you can find something else. You can find something else.
You can't tell me that the guys that liked Marvel comics in the 60s were reading them in the 90s and going, oh, these are just so good.
Exactly.
They were going, this is garbage. This is garbage.
Exactly. And yeah. Like there's just a generational gap, and we're just in it. And the worst part is we have social media and that we can like vent on it, but like they're not going to change, and they don't want to change, and maybe they will change. But just because you want something one way doesn't mean that it's gonna go that way. I thought Ben Affleck was a great Batman. Doesn't mean that he's gonna be Batman anymore.
Yeah, well, that's something else we can agree on. I think that Ben Affleck is one of the best Batmans that they've ever had. I think that is the closest to the comic book look that they will ever get.
Yeah, I know. I really enjoyed Ben Affleck, and I'm super excited for Robert Pattinson. But yeah, I really wish that Ben Affleck had been given his own movie and whatnot. They at least had given him a chance. Ezra Caleb West in the chat says Squirrel Girl sucks. Yeah, man, like Squirrel Girl. Like I don't enjoy Squirrel Girl. I think Squirrel Girl sucks too, but Squirrel Girl's not for you and me. Squirrel Girl's for someone else.
Yeah, and I mean, like I was saying, the dudes that grew up reading it way back in the day, they didn't like the stuff in the 90s. I don't relate to most TV shows and stuff that's going on now. Like you're saying, it's a completely different generation. Stuff, as you get older, stuff is just not for you anymore. They're trying to hit that young demographic. I'm 35 years old. They don't make things for me. Late night TV is probably the only thing that's really aimed at people my age.
You can't find like TV shows that you enjoy?
I can, but I'm real picky.
Okay, there you go.
I'm picky. The way I was brought up, like I don't like just graphic violence and nudity and lots of profanity. I feel like you can tell a good story without cheapening it with like that. And I feel like now they take something halfway decent and they just cram a bunch of either violence or nudity in it to try to make it adult or whatever. That's just my opinion on it.
Oh no, yeah, I totally agree. No, I totally agree. You can tell a good story without any of that. It just so happens that like the society we live in is okay with it, so they're like, yeah, let's just continue to do it.
Yeah. Shabby in the chat says, if you want a non-toxic creator on Twitter, you can follow me at Shabby J. Watch out though, I'm a shameless self-promoter. Now, Shabby, he's a really cool guy. He's got a
I see his art. He does vestry, right?
Yeah, man. And he's like leveled up like a couple levels here in the past few months. So keep an eye out on him. He's going to be an up and comer. He's going to be a big name out there someday.
Oh yeah, and I see. Yeah, I constantly. The reason why I know his comics is vestry is because I follow him, so like that's important. But two, he's constantly promoting himself. He's constantly showing off great art. It's freaking awesome. That's something that's super cool. And I feel bad. I feel bad. I got 4 DMs this week on people saying, hey, can I come on your live show and whatnot? And I don't do live shows anymore, Doug. I do them once a month. So yeah, I feel bad. There's so much talent that I want to show and I can't.
Yeah. Well, it's hard. Like, see, I do a stream during the middle of the day because I work nights and everything. So it's nearly impossible to get anybody on during the day. But I mostly just do it because I'm sitting around here, just being a bum. I was like, I'll stream a little bit.
Well, I feel like for me, it's the opposite. I feel like there's a ton of people that stream during the day. And I am like, man, I can't get in on those streams because I'm at work. Like Nasser, he invites me to streams a bunch. I got other people invite me to invite me on streams. I'm like, gosh, like I can't. And then when I do it, and I only do one show a month now. I'd love to do more, but I just don't have the time to do so. So yeah, it's tough trying to make time for it all.
I don't think people realize how much work goes into making your own comics, because not only like you do art, you write and do your art. So you've got to do that, and then you've got to promote yourself. You've got to be your own social media manager. You've got to get on YouTube and promote yourself and all that stuff. And it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah, it's a ton of work. And like for people like if you've never been to my channel is youtube.com/drawandtalk peoples. My videos are not like other people's videos. I spend probably about an hour filming my videos, and then I spend probably an hour or two editing them. I'm not saying that they're like, amazing, but I'm trying to put out really good content on YouTube. I'm trying to do at least a video a week, and this week I'm putting out 2 videos, which is a ton of work, but at the same time also trying to find time to make comics and write, come up with new ideas, and then network with awesome people while also having a day job and raising a family. At some point you just get burnt out and you're like, I got to pick which one. And I found that live streams are really fun for me to do, and it's great for me to meet people, but my channel hasn't grown much from it.
So I think I just hit like during the week, I try to stream around noon, so I get a pretty decent little crowd most of the time. But I don't put out anything informational. There's no educational content in my show. It's just all complete bullcrap and me rambling and doing Bill Cosby impersonations.
And and like there's like a place for that. And like when I have like I had Larry Higgins on the show last month, it was a ton of fun. We laughed a lot, we bullshitted a lot. But then I do try to bring value, some kind of like value to it, because I feel like there's like 3 kinds of entertainment. There's like what you do, which is just like entertainment. There's like entertainment where you can maybe like learn something from there, and then there's like the entertainment where it's just drama the whole time. And those who I will not name, they do 3 and 4 hours of drama, and I'm so surprised that people listen to the same thing, the same episode of the same thing, but like. And there's thousands of viewers. They're rehashing the same topics over and over and over. And people are like, yeah, I'm so angry about that. Drama that's been like 3 or 4 months old.
Yeah.
Or like years old.
Or it's not even real. It's just manufactured.
Yeah, it's manufactured. And that's another thing is I'll say it on here. I'll just say it on Doug's show, guys. I have a video that I've created and edited. It took a week. It's called it's a couple videos. It's about the imposters that are in comic books. We know who they are. And I've tried to figure out if I should release it or not. It's a well-researched video of like screen grabs, snippets from videos, and like the data that shows, there's a ton of other channels of non-comic book channels where it talks about like there are a ton of influencers who manufacture their own drama to make more money. Like there was one actually this week of this dude, him and his girlfriend had a channel, and they have millions of subscribers. And then he had a video that said that his girlfriend died. And so that got millions of views. So he made tons of money. And then the next video, it's him like visiting her at like the grave. So that's millions of views right there, and like tons of money. And then the third video is him like playing with the Ouija board, trying to like communicate with her, which is another millions of views and tons of money. And then it turns out a newspaper broke it. His girlfriend didn't actually die. Like they planned the whole thing.
That's ridiculous.
And they make they make tens of thousands of dollars off this manufactured drama. And obviously they're stupid enough to do something of like, where it involves a human life. You can't just fake someone's death, especially when you're pulling out videos like that. But there's tons of manufactured drama, and it's hard. It's actually why I'm going to tell you this, Doug. I'm thinking probably next year I'm going to be out of comics, the comic book circle, and I'm going to hopefully be in the web comics circle. Because that's where I see the future at, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've been talking to some guys. There's some really cool guys that I meet, and it's like you've got, everybody complains about Marvel and DC. Then you've got this whole group that's YouTube comic guys that only make comics to supplement their YouTube channel. It's got nothing to do about the love of comics or any of that stuff. It's just a product to sell on their YouTube channel. Then you've got all these guys underneath, the underground guys. The guys are making comics, and there a lot of them are web comics guys. They're doing this because they love it. They don't care if they're not out there to make $1 million. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with making money off your comics. There's nothing wrong at all. It'd be nice if we could all do it and support ourselves doing it. But these guys are doing it because they love it. And I meet more and more of these guys every day. And I'm perfectly content, along with a lot of them, to just make a couple books a year. If we print 50 copies, so be it. That's what it's about. It's just making something. It's about the creation.
Oh, yeah. I hate it when there's so much hatred on comics, as in people saying you shouldn't make comics unless you're going to make money. And that's the mentality of that EVS war campaign, whatever group, because to them, if you don't make $100,000s of dollars, your comic book is a fail and you should just give up on it. And I remember I had one person, I tweeted something, and I never get into drama on Twitter, Doug. You see this, and a war campaign person came into my Twitter, and I was like, okay, like I'm chill with most people, and I was talking about having different kinds of success in comics, and he was saying, and this one particular person was like, you should probably give up on making comics since your campaign only made X amount of money, and I'm like, well, I'm in it because I'm having fun. Yeah. I've been doing this. I'm having a great time. And they go, well, then they're like, well, you're stupid for doing something for no money. And for me, it's like, okay, that's fine. But what are you doing? Like, this person doesn't make comics. They just support people. Do you think Cecil thought he was ever going to make a comic in his life? No. He saw an opportunity, and he was like, oh, I guess I'll make money so that I'll make money. They all see it as money. And people like EVS have even said, EVS says he doesn't want to make comics. He'd rather be like Howard Stern, like a radio show host. They don't want to make comics. They don't enjoy comics. And that's why I want to leave towards the webcomic crowd, because the webcomic crowd, they all do it for free. They all do it for free with the hopes of building a fan base that will eventually support them. That's my kind of community.
See, if I only did things that made money, I would have quit playing guitar like 20 years ago. I've recorded. I call myself the rock and roll ninja. I make tons of records that nobody ever sees or hears. So
exactly,
it's just because I love it. If one person listens to it, that's awesome. But I don't do this stuff for praise. I feel like most creative people have a drive to create, whether or not it makes money or, other people enjoy it.
Oh yeah, my brother and I right now we're working on an animated channel, an animation channel. He can't draw, so that's all on me right now. I've spent the last 2 weeks every day in the mornings and nights, like early mornings and like late nights, just trying to animate, like learning how to animate and have a good time. There's probably going to be zero money made off this thing. But we just were like one day, like, hey, what if we did this thing? And we thought it'd be funny. And on our free time, we've been making it. And we'll put it out there. And we'll see if it's funny or not. But if not, the only thing that we lost was just a little bit of time for like a couple weeks. But we had a great time. Who cares? Yeah. Shabby says, guess they've never heard of a hobby. Yeah.
Well, most people don't have hobbies anymore. They sit and they watch YouTube, and then they play video games or watch a TV show. They do nothing to fulfill themselves. The only fulfillment they get is sending super chats to some YouTube guy and saying, "Look, they made $1 million."
And I was part of that, Doug. I'm part of that. Like when they say this is kind of jacked up because I'm grateful for everyone who supports my comics. But it's this mob mentality of when they say we just hit $200,000, we did it.
It's like no.
It's a reverse, like it's like this mentality of like, yeah, I'm part of something bigger when really this is comics. We're not changing the world.
No.
Go vote. Go vote and say we did it. And those who are constantly pushing those, yeah, you can say, yeah, we did it. But to think, I gave someone $200 in the super chat and I'm affecting change. No, what you did, the only change that you affected was your bank account. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Well, another thing here, some people don't like this, but I believe if you're trying to fight a culture war by making comic books on Indiegogo, you're an idiot. You're not affecting anything. These people know this. They're selling the idea that, hey, just like you said, hey, look, you did something. You did something. By giving me money, you did something. I'm so tired
and there's people on both sides doing it as well.
Yeah.
Because there's the people, and by the way, this is like the most drama I've ever talked about on a stream. I feel like I'm here with Doug. This is the first time I've talked with him. For some reason, I'm so comfortable. I'm like, I should just like let it all out right now to Doug. But you've got people like, you got the EVS crowd of CG or whatever who are like, they're working this one side. But then in my opinion, you also got people like Preston, who's also working this side. They both know what they're doing. And for me, I'm just someone who's like, man, I'm like on the other side on a hill, like with my binoculars, watching them. But like I see what EVS does. I see what people like Preston do, right or wrong. They're both playing the same game in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't help it. I like to watch Preston's videos because they crack me up so bad.
His last week of CG, and for me, like, there are times where I'm like, yeah, I think that's funny, but there's another thing where he's trying to monetize a different outrage.
Yeah,
he's trying to monetize those who are outraged by the outrage. And I don't know. I don't know Preston. I've never talked with him in my life. For me, I think, and he's single. He's a single dude, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so like for me, I'm like, gosh, like I only have so many hours of the day. I don't watch any of these people's live streams. I don't like catch up on all the drama. I don't like, and for him, like to know all these things, for me, I go, or like other people, I'm like, wow, like you're so like obsessive. For me, it's just I don't have time. Like if I'm gonna have to make time to do something, there are a lot better things I'd rather like put my time towards than doing that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Anytime Preston posts something about that, and the nice thing is I don't watch his videos, but on Facebook he types it all out.
Yeah.
So at work, I'm like, well, I guess I'll, read this 5-paragraph thing real quick. Thanks for doing all this. But at the same time, I also feel kind of like there have been days where I've almost messaged Preston, like, be like, hey, I know we never talked, but like, there's more to life than this. And once again, I've never talked with him. Well, I'd probably talk with him and probably have a really good time. But yeah, I just feel like there's a better things to do with my life.
Yeah, man. And see, the thing is, I've talked to a lot of these guys. I talk to a lot of people. Pretty much anybody that wants to DM me and talk, I talk to
Do you
everybody.
talk with people who have opposite opinions than you?
I try to.
You can't do that. It's 2020. You don't do that.
I try to be good to everybody. What's funny is like one of my best friends. He is like a super hardcore, like you could call him an SJW and you would not be wrong, and he would not be offended by that. I wouldn't call myself like a conservative, but I am very strongly libertarian, and
Uh-huh.
we don't see eye to eye on anything. So you know what? We hang out all the time and we never talk about politics.
But that's fine. I used to work at a newspaper and I was the only conservative person there. And man, what we get into like the biggest arguments, but at the same time, those people also had my back because we respect you can respect other people, even if you guys totally disagree. I mean, we would get into heated arguments.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I got stranded in the city. And I was like on Instagram, I was like, oh, so-and-so is here. They can get me a ride. And I messaged them. And like, this is someone who like the day before we had gone into a heated argument about like certain political issues, like heated in the office, yelling at each other. And both of us had to like leave. And I was like, hey, dude, can you come? I got stranded. Picks me up. We both have a laugh. We talked about what we did that day, other stuff. Dropped off each other. Like he dropped me off home, and like we just didn't talk about politics. We just like we're like, hey, like what we disagreed. Who gives a crap? We had we had a good time.
That's something like I don't. And this is another thing. I don't have to like everybody. You don't have to like everybody, but you should treat everybody with some respect.
Oh yeah.
I don't get that. I get a lot of people get mad at me because I talk to this person over here and they don't like that person, and vice versa. I don't really care. I've got a ton of people blocked on Twitter. I can't act like I'm the most like I'm the best guy in the whole world. I block a lot of people, but usually I give them the chance to be a decent person first.
Yeah.
Try to talk things out. Try to be decent. 6 Scale Combat, who I'm helping him with his campaign for Napalm Brothers. Me and him have had some heated arguments. I said things to him that I wouldn't say to anybody.
Dun, dun, dun,
I told him I was
dun.
really mean to him. And you know what? We got over it. We went on like adults do. I think more people just need to let things go and just move on.
Oh yeah, like I had it within a 2-day time period. I had one video come out that had me talking with John Malin, and then the second video to come out was with me and Heather Antos. Like, and everyone's like, I can't believe you had Heather Antos on your show, and I can't believe that you guys talked. And I'm like, man, I had a great time with Heather. Like, we had a great time. We had a great off-air talk as well. I would totally hang out with her. And we probably have, and I know for a fact we have completely different political opinions, or we probably disagree with each other 90% of things. But what we could agree with was our love of comics.
Yeah.
And whether you think she's ruining the industry or not, it's a separate thing. But we had a great time. We had a great time. I had Matthew Rosenberg on. He's currently writing Hawkeye, and on the show a couple weeks ago, and we had a great time. And we had a couple disagreements. We had a couple disagreements on Twitter, and we even talked about some disagreements that we had off air. But we did the show, and we recorded the show, and it was a great time. Because just find you can find something that you have in common with someone. And just gravitate to that. My wife and I, we probably don't agree on whenever we talk about politics, I go, wait, you believe that? and then we shut up because it's not important to our relationship.
Yeah.
Until she starts acting. If she acts on any of that, I'll be like, hey, listen, stupid. No. Now she's like giving me like a death glare. Like you said.
I just want to take a moment and recognize we got old Rooster Puncher in the chat, and that is Spencer, who has some killer comics coming out through Alterna.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Void Walker is out, and he's a really cool dude. Me and him, it's funny because we talk. We've had disagreements. There's a lot we agree on, a lot we disagree on. But he's one of the most level-headed dudes online. I think the three of us would get along very well. But definitely, if you guys haven't checked out Voidwalker, go check that out. Go follow him on Twitter. I believe it's at Rooster Puncher, just like his username is here.
Nice. And Rooster Puncher says, love to check out that video. Yeah, Rooster Puncher, if you want to check out that video, just go to my channel, youtube.com/drawandtalk. It's one of my older videos.
I gave you mod status, so if you want to drop your link in there.
Snaps. I got a wrench, guys. It's game over now.
Oh, so many people in my chat have wrenches. I had to quit giving them out because somebody messaged me and was like, I'm blocked from your channel, and I can't figure out who done it.
Oh, man. I got raided. I got raided once during a live stream. Of just like 50 people came in and just started giving out racial profanities.
Oh,
and I was freaking. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, okay, you. I'm wrenching you right now. Delete everything. So like I wrenched like five people right then, and like we all were taking turns taking like people out. Until like they all were banned, and then I was like, okay, everyone, thanks. You do lose your wrench though. That was an emergency experience.
I kind of gave a bunch of people that because there's been a lot of people doing that here lately, raiding channels and just being poop heads. And here on my channel, we don't like poop heads.
We do not want poop heads. Well, hey, Doug, I hear my kid in the background, so I'm gonna probably jump off. To go take care of them.
I really appreciate you being here, and I've had a lot of fun talking to you. So you definitely got to come back, especially when you've got something to promote that we can talk about all morning.
Yeah, well, I do have something. I have a free comic I could give your viewers right now.
Oh yeah, drop the link, man.
All right, hey guys. So let me grab it. So I have a Kickstarter coming up later this year. It's for a sci-fi graphic. So when I make comics, guys, I only put out graphic novels. Books that are like 60 to 100 pages or more. My last ones have been over 100 pages. The comic that I'm working on, I'm not even working on it. I finished it 2 years ago. But it's a 100-page sci-fi graphic novel. It's about a girl named Camille and a guy named Aaron Stryker. And Earth has been completely wiped out. Camille believes that she is the one of 50 people who have survived from the human race. She has no memory from the last 3 years. She winds up on a spaceship, and the rest. And all she's told is that something called the Entity is the cause of all of this, like human destruction, her losing her memory for the last 3 years, and her ending up in a spaceship. So it's called Entity. It's going to be 100-page. It's a 100-page sci-fi graphic novel, fully colored. I finished this like 2-3 years ago. And it was just on the back burner. So now this year we're going to Kickstarter it. But if you want to read the first 20 pages, that link down below, you put your email in and you'll get access to the first 20 pages for free. And all those who back me on Patreon do have access to the entire comic. Digital comic. But yeah, it's a free 20 pages. I always try to give, anytime I do a Kickstarter or whatnot, I always try to give the first 20 pages for free before I ask you for your money to make sure that you feel like it's worth it.
That's a good idea, man.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't really help, but sometimes it bites me in the butt because some people are like, oh, I didn't like that 20 pages, and then they bounce. But you know what? I want to feel like I'm worthy of your money.
Yeah.
And if you read the first 20 pages and didn't like it, then that's on me, and I need to do better. I got a comic this week. I waited for 1.5 years on it. I won't say which comic. It's not Cyberfog. I didn't back that trash. But I waited for 1 year for it, and I was super excited, and I didn't like it. And it was over 100 pages. And there was a part of me that wished I had been able to read the first 20 pages.
Yeah.
To see if I liked it, because I didn't like it from the get-go. But that's what happens. So read the first 20 pages. If you like it, subscribe to my channel, and you'll get updates on it. And yeah, thanks, Doug, for having me on the show, dude. Seriously.
Hey, thanks for being here, man, and I will catch you later. You see, Theo. So yeah, that was awesome. I don't know about you guys, but I thought that was really cool having Tyler on. He's a good dude. It was a lot of fun talking to him. So now that he's gone, let's do our little update here on Napalm Bros. So we are at $714. That's 142% of our $500 goal. Once we hit $1,500, the 11-page ash can, Charlie in the Wire, will be added. So, go check this out. Six will appreciate it. Appreciate everybody sharing and everything like that. And yeah, a lot of people's talking about how having Tyler on was awesome. That was awesome. I've got a little DM group and added some dudes to it that I like to have on. It's fun chatting with these creators. There's a lot of positive guys out there, and he is one of them. That's one thing I noticed. He's never in any drama. He's a good dude. He's just cranking out comics. He has a good YouTube channel with helpful information. So I'm gonna be adding some more people to that little DM group because I just popped in there this morning and said, "Hey, anybody want to come on?" Tyler's like, "I can come on for a little bit," and I was like, "Boop." So I add Shabby to that because we all like Shabby, and maybe Spencer might want to come on sometime. So I might shoot him a DM and say, "Hey man, you want to come on the show sometime?" And he can show us cool things about his new books and stuff because the dude's got like a million ideas and always cranking stuff out. Oh, Ezra, I completely forgot about the 1-inch pen. I haven't even talked to Sixth. So I didn't even notice what Freddie was here. Hey, Freddie. We got all kind of people in here. Good. Eric Hawkins popped in from Hawkins Park. Oh man. But yeah, we've had a good crowd. This is a good little chat this morning. I don't generally stream too long on Sundays, or I try not to. So we definitely need to get some Shabby on here before long. And Eric, I'm gonna have to have you come on and talk about the zombie-full world of Oz. Everybody's talking about how cool Tyler is. Tyler is a cool guy. If you don't follow him on Twitter, go follow him. I can't remember what his username is, but definitely go check out that link he dropped. Go subscribe to that and make sure that whoever banned Model 316, I'm going to karate chop you and take away your wrench. For some reason, he's blocked. And I've been trying to add him back, but I've not got him blocked, so I don't know how to do that. I'll have to do some research. But I miss Model 316 because he just comes in and drops witty little banter in there, and he made that mailbox, and that little mailbox, and he'll forever be my hero because of it. So tomorrow is Monday. Monday is going to be Macho Monday, so just like we have Theo Thursday. You see, Theo! We're going to start having Macho Monday. Yeah, Eric, I'll add you to that group, that DM group, and if you want to come on, we'll have you on sometime. You show off your book. I want to be promoting a lot of these guys. Like I said, I stole the term from Tonic Mole. Tonic Mole is steadily becoming one of my favorite people on online. He's always dropping artwork. He's a cool dude. But he started talking about how we were underground comics, and I just took that and run. So I feel like a lot of you guys are in the same spot I am. We're making comics because we love it. We're not big dogs in the indie scene. We're just kind of underground. We're the punk rock of the comic world. So, I want to meet up with all my fellow punk rockers and take my little slice of the internet and combine it with everybody else's. I have a lot of fun doing this show, and it's mostly just because I got some really cool people in the chat. And, if we can get more cool guests to come on, that would be awesome. Don't really have much else to talk about today. Just kind of chilling. But be on the lookout for guests from now on. I'm going to be getting some cool peoples on here. Go check out Napalm Brothers if you haven't. Yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna get out here. I got a whole crock pot full of ribs cooking. I'm gonna eat ribs tonight. So that's all I'm doing today. I might go play some Xbox, but I'm gonna chill and relax because it's Sunday. Y'all have a good day, and I'll talk at you later.